Since Jimmy Butler has gotten here, he has found a way to extract the best out of just about everybody on this team, and most importantly, number 30, Steph Curry. But the story of this game, make no doubt about it, it is Steph Curry, and it's what he continues to do at an advanced age that, again, 50 points now 4 times beyond the age of 35, most of anybody in the history of basketball. LeBron James has only done it twice. Kobe Bryant has only done it once, his final game in the NBA. Michael Jordan has only scored 50 points in an NBA game one time beyond the age of 35. What Steph continues to do defies father time. And whether it results in a deep postseason run or a first-round flameout, I don't want to diminish what we continue to see from this man night in and night out. It's the reason why the GOAT conversations are being thrown up against a bulletin board and they stick. It's the reason why people are talking about him in rare air. Again, he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar tonight for most 40-point games, 72. He's now number 10 all time. You'll never catch Will Chamberlain. But the point is, the names that he continues to put himself in regards to the records, the amount of points, the three-point records that he continues to set, this guy is obviously one of one, but he seems to continue to find a way to push beyond the glass ceiling. You know, to take the Willy Wonka elevator, left, right, diagonal, up, down, and then take it through the glass roof when the Warriors need it the most. And that's why, to bring it back to reality, this is a game that, if you're looking at Curry's performance, if you're looking at the way the Warriors won this game, it's why people are giving them a puncher's chance. Like, in all seriousness, it's why you cannot, and I think the rest of the league is not looking at the Warriors as a team that they want to face in the playoffs. Yes, Jimmy Butler is an awesome talent, and I thought that he was sensational, specifically down the stretch of this game, and we can get into his performance, especially in the final 2:20 of this ballgame. Draymond Green had a triple-double, and I actually felt like when he went off the floor in the middle portion of this game, that's when Memphis began to make their run. What he did defensively was probably the only thing stopping the Grizzlies from laying an absolute flood type of offensive performance on the Warriors. He was the only reason they probably didn't score 140 this game. Draymond was awesome. You know, up until the very end, I thought that Podziemski and Moody looked like young kids in a playoff-type atmosphere, and their lack of experience showed a little bit. There's a lot of different facets to this game, but the fact remains the Warriors had to get it. Steve Kerr also showed you with how he played his stars, with how he played his rotation, that they needed to get this game. He essentially played 8 guys tonight. I know Kevon Looney played 10 minutes and he was the 9th, but it was essentially an 8-man rotation. Butler played 38 minutes, a game high. Curry played 36 minutes. Moses Moody played 35. Draymond, 32. You know, Post and Hield off the bench, 20 points. Hield, by the way, I know he had a couple of mishaps like he typically does, but played well down the stretch. Quentin Post was very good shooting into the first half, struggled a bit in the second half. And then the rest of the team just did what it had to do to kind of fill in the cracks and the creases of just the opening that Curry created for them with an absolute just offensive performance for the season. They needed to get this game, and that's why, even though he scored more points against Orlando, he had 56, he did it in a more efficient fashion. He had 56 points on 16 shots made, 25 total. I think you can make the case this is his best game of the season, because not only did he have the 52, but he grabbed 10 boards, 9 of them defensive. He dished out 8 assists and only had 2 turnovers. And he also had 5 steals, which was a game high. He was 8 of 8 at the free throw line, led the way for a Warriors team that was 28 of 28 at the free throw line. Pretty good for a team that 2 months ago we were talking about being the worst free throw team in the NBA. And Steph grabbed this game by the reins right from the get-go, and then he, along with the rest of his squad, ended up taking it home and locked it up against the Memphis Grizzlies when they needed to. One of the most important plays of the game that Jimmy Butler made was with 1 minute and 55 seconds left. He gets into the paint, pump fakes on Jaren Jackson Jr., goes left, draws a foul, gets to the free throw line, foul number 6 on Jaren Jackson Jr. And that, to me, was where the game was essentially ended. The Warriors drew even and then boat raced them because Butler got their best defensive player, and I think their second most impactful player overall in the game, out. And he made 6 free throws in the final 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Of the Warriors' total points, that was 6 of their last 9 before Curry got to the end for a couple of gimme free throws and iced the game. but 6 of their last 9 points essentially in clutch time when the game was being decided were scored by Jimmy Butler, all of which at the free throw line. He had 10 points total in the fourth quarter of his 17 for the game, and that's where it took Steph 50 to get them to the finish line. And then Jimmy Butler helped them get across it. And that's where the Warriors become very scary to me as a playoff team. It isn't that overall, they're going to be bigger, faster, stronger than all of these teams. But to me, the way that Curry and Butler complement each other as co-stars, Butler's not going to be the guy to get you 50. At least it appears with Curry on the team alongside him. But he can be the guy that can help Steph close out games. If Curry can get it to the point where it's a 2-minute game, I like the Warriors' chances against the majority of opponents they're going to have to face in the postseason because Butler simplifies things offensively. Draymond Green can still summon that all-defense type talent, maybe even DPOY talent, depending on how the rest of the season goes. And Curry obviously is such a threat to not only hit big shots, but also draw enough attention to open up things for other players, such as a Moses Moody open corner 3 that can put the game away with a dagger. Pajemski coming in for an offensive rebound with the most important one of the game, I would argue, over Ja Morant, by the way. Those are the kinds of creases that he opens with the gravity that he creates. That's why the Warriors, to me, this particular lineup they have is so complimentary. And obviously they were missing GP2 and Kuminga tonight, but that 5 on the floor in clutch time, they have an opportunity to steal some games because they can do just enough. And I think it's not just because of one player. I think it's because of their big 3. Curry was the best player on the floor tonight. He had an incredible game, but you cannot discount what Jimmy Butler did in the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and you cannot discount the kind of defense and whole all-around effort that Draymond Green had in this game to help them get the win. They only won by 9, and this game was in the balance. They were down 4 with 3.5 left. All of them won this game together. But in the postseason, you're going to need elite performances. You're going to need Hall of Fame type of talent to carry you through. We've seen it time and time again. The amount of big games that Steph Curry has had, that Draymond has had, that even Jimmy Butler in other locales has had in the postseason. They're going to need these kind of performances tonight if they're going to go deep in the playoffs. But that's why the fact that Curry can still summon this 2 times already since Jimmy has gotten here in terms of 50 burgers, that gives me reason to believe that you have to give them a puncher's chance in the postseason. And they're going to play Lakers, Nuggets, Rockets. All 3 of those teams are better than the Memphis Grizzlies. They have played better all year than the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, to me, I feel like the Warriors are in a position now to continue to prove that they can elevate their level of play. And this is a win they had to get. I thought it was impressive.